Good morning. Good morning, good morning. So today we're going to do the word Christmas, because tomorrow we're going to do all of the whips. Good morning, Meg. Meg, are you doing the stitch along? I can't remember if you were or not. I don't think you are because you're moving, yeah? So today we're going to do the Christmas, like I've just said. But because I have the black thread for Christmas, and it's really difficult to see the stitches, I'm just going to do a T quickly so that you can see what I'm talking about. So I hope that makes sense. What we're going to do for the practice, I'm just going to use all 6 strands of the same color that I did a practice of the chain stitch with, just so that it's going to be easier to see it. And then for the Christmas, I'm going to use 3 strands of black. Meg says, I am doing the stitch along, but I haven't started because we're going away next weekend, so I plan to catch up then. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, I can't wait to see. Okay, so what we're going to do for this is a combination of backstitch and brick stitch. So for these little tiny single pieces, so I noticed some people have traced it out kind of like this. With 2 lines here. You don't need the 2 lines there. They should connect like that and make just 1 line going up. So for all these really thin lines like this, we're just going to use just the 1 strand and do a back stitch. And then for these middle parts, let me change color pen so that you can see what I mean. We're going to use a brick stitch, and it's going to be just like laying bricks. So you know when you lay bricks, they should be offset like this, yeah? Like that. So imagine that all of the bricks are going to be stitches, but they're going to go up and down. So you're going to have 1 stitch, 1 stitch, and then the next row is going to be the middle of this one to the middle of this one. They're going to be offset like bricks. So let me just show you really quickly, because I tend to waffle on quite a bit. I'm sorry about that. So for the thin parts, just an easy peasy. They don't have to be so big, but they also don't have to be so small, because they're just these tiny little pieces. So you want to try to make a good length, but you know, don't make them ridiculously small. Now for this part, it doesn't matter if I go into here or not, because we're going to cover that up later. Yeah, so I've just done the back stitch to there. Then from here, we're going to start the brick stitches. And it's literally just like back stitch, but they're off-centered, off-put, like bricks. So you want to try to keep them the same length. And I tend to go all the way down to the bottom and then all the way back up to the top. Now, if you use a darker color thread, because obviously you can pick whatever color that you want for this. I chose black. This is going to be red and white striped, I think. This is just going to be black, and the Christmas is also going to be black. But if you choose a lighter color, then be more conscious or conscientious. Do you know what I'm saying? Be more particular. Just change the word, Tori, it's fine. Of how your stitches are, and try to make them neater, because you can definitely see the light colored thread. Just turn the light on. You can definitely see the lighter color thread, all the stitches, much easier than you can with the black thread. So just a warning. With the black thread, you can make a little bit shorter, a little bit longer. It doesn't really matter, because it's all going to blend in to be one. So what we'll look out for here, so I like to kind of tuck it in. So what we look out for here is making it look like this is kind of going into that. What in the world is this Christmas music? Talking about housekeepers. And you're just gonna tuck it in like that. So it's gonna look like the two are kind of going like a calligraphy pen, you know, like they're going down into there. So there's a couple different ways that you can do this, like I said before. You can either do the outline like I'm doing and then fill it in as best you can with brick stitches, or you can go back and not do the outline and do the brick stitch. I'm trying to make sure it's in the screen. The brick stitch right next to it. It's really up to you, however you feel works best for you. I tend to really hate doing brick stitch with a lighter color because you can really see all the stitches so much. You really can't make a mistake. So at the tops, most of the time I'll do a little one sideways, and this is where we'll start our bricks. So obviously we're going to do a little half stitch from here to the end because the brick stitches should be from the center to the center, the middle to the middle. So we'll do a little half stitch there. And then go to the middle of this one. And then the middle of this one. And we're just filling it in. I probably won't finish the word Christmas because the stitch does take longer to do. But we'll see how far we get. I like to keep the videos to about 30 minutes, but we'll see. Yeah, do you get the gist? Do we get the gist now? You'll notice that, some of these are longer than the others. So the very last one is much longer because I don't like to end any two stitches in line with each other because then you start to get this kind of, like this. All the stitches like this, and then all the stitches like this, and all the stitches like this. You just start to see these kind of spaces. Do you know what I mean? Instead of seeing the whole letter fluid like this, you start to see these like almost like building blocks to it. Yeah, you want it to kind of all blend in together. So I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna start doing the Christmas one. Where did I just put my needle? Oh, there it is. Just making sure I didn't miss any questions. Okay. Well, let's get started then. Let me zoom her in. Or maybe turn this music down because, oh my goodness. Christmas chill out is banging this morning. Like super loud. So we just start. And of course I made this so long. Just remember that you need to make your stitches smaller on the curves. So for these kinds of curves here and for the R in Christmas, you're going to want to make them much smaller than you normally would. Goodness gracious. I only put this one on because it's an hour long and all the other ones were like 20 minutes, and I knew that today's would be a little bit longer. I didn't want to change it. So, as always, if you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully this is making sense to you. You probably could have done the whole Christmas with just the tutorial that I did before. But some people really like to watch someone do the actual stitching that they're going to do, if you know what I mean. Ooh. That's what I get for making my thread too long. You can also go through a hole that you've already done. So I just went in between these two stitches. Come on. Through the hole already. Meaning I didn't tuck it in, I just used that same hole. This is probably one of the easiest kind of stitches or ways to fill in lettering, because like I said, when the thread is so dark, you really can't see the individual stitches. They all blend in together. So if you're a little bit self-conscious about making the stitches perfect, or if it's your first time or anything like that, you can get away with kind of filling them in not 100%, you know, to the book. So there we go. I might do one more stitch here because I can see the white of the fabric through, just barely, so. And then we just continue with our Z. Quiet today. Not a lot of people on here. Good morning. Can't wait to see you guys do the Christmas. Stitch the Christmas up. From Spain. Hola. And then now we start the, goodness. We start the brick stitching in between. Where in Spain are you from? We went to Barcelona and Valencia, but I'd like to go to other places too. Add another one. Andalusia. I don't even know where that is. I do love Spain though, it's so pretty. Hi, George. And the sun's coming out. Yes. It was supposed to be raining all day today. And very cold. Poor Jessie didn't get a walk this morning because it was raining. Maybe I should take her. It's gonna be nice. Goodness, it is getting bright out. Can you see the sun on my hoop? So bright. Okay, I think I'm gonna do the R and then call it a day because I think it's a little bit, I don't think you guys wanna watch this, you know, all the way through. But I'll post a picture of my finished one after it's all finished today. Like of the Christmas, finished Christmas. And I hope that you guys tag me in your Christmas ones as well. With the word all completed. Good morning. Come on. My goodness, it's like so bright now. Nuts. That was close. It's like never this sunny here, this early. Gotta get outside now, huh? I'll do one more because I feel like I can still see some white. There as well. I'll just keep going until the thread runs out. Okay. Well, I think that you have the gist of it with the little kind of tutorial that I did before, and then watching these bits. Like I said, because I wanted black thread for this part, it's a little bit, it's kind of a shame because you can't actually see the exact stitches that I'm doing, which is why I did the lighter colored one so that you can see a bit better. So yeah, be sure to tag me in your stories or in your posts, and I will share. And I will see you tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be whip day. And the reason I did whip day on a Friday is because you can either choose not to do it, or you can choose to do all of it. And what we're gonna do is the Holly Jolly and the banner. So at the very least, I would suggest doing the banner, whipping it in something. You can whip it in black. So if I'm gonna whip it in black so that it's the same, because you don't really want, look how sunny it is. Oh my God. You don't really want this to be like a candy cane and this also to be like a candy cane. You kind of want one thing to stand out. And for me, I want it to be the Holly Jolly. Alternately, what's wrong with me today? You could choose the banner, in which then you could whip the banner. I'm going to whip both. So I'll show you Holly, and then I'll show you the banner. The banner is not very exciting because I'm just going to whip it in black. So it's just going to make it look a little bit nicer and neater. And it's also good for any of you who maybe didn't make really straight stitches for this part here. So maybe if your stitches were a little bit wobbly. How pretty is that? So yeah, if these stitches here were a little bit wobbly, you can whip them and it will make them look straight because the whipping will kind of make it look like one straight line. You'll see what I mean tomorrow. Obsessed with this light. So yeah, that's all for me today. I need to do some admin for a little bit. I've got some new kits that I need to take some pictures of and list. So I need to do that whilst the light is good and not raining. And I need to pack my bags for the Lion King tomorrow. Well, I think it's on Saturday, but yeah. So there we go. I hope you have a great Thursday. Like I said, tag me at the Barmy Fox in your stories. If you don't tag me at the Barmy Fox, it should come up with a line underneath of it. So at the Barmy Fox, and it should come up underlined. If you don't tag me, I can't see it. So, like I said earlier in the week, it's not that I don't like you. It's that I literally cannot see your post because you've not tagged me. So, yeah. Have a great Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow. All right? Bye!